Brown Enriquez, your host of Artistic Visions, the show where we like to go in depth with young artists at OCAD, talk about their art, what they like to talk about in their art, and what they would like to talk about in their art. In today's episode, I have a very special guest, Brynn Murphy. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just had a little mishap, but no worries there.
No worries.
We're
so good.
But it's a great day. It's a nice chill day, and let's start off the interview, Brynn. Who are you, and what kind of art do you usually make?
I'm Brynn. I'm a fifth-year photography student at OCAD, and I mainly make photography. I tend to solely focus on photography. I think it's my specialty at this point.
You are in the photography program, right? So, I might as well. And let's, move on to your first piece, which you call Payphone Project. And what do you want to talk about in this piece?
Yeah, so this is like a long-running project I've been working on it since like my first year at OCAD. Anybody who's ever talked to me has heard about my payphones. I drive people crazy with it, but it started as a bit of a passion project that has turned into a full-blown obsession. I saw the payphones around the city. I think they're quite like interesting. They're covered in graffiti. They're covered in flyers. They're all like a little bit different. There's something about them, like some artistic quality about them. And I just started photographing them. And this is like a small sample of them, but I'm up to like 120 plus of them.
Yeah, wow.
I keep a Google Maps, like a custom Google Maps, so I know like where I've photographed each one. It's a lot. It is an obsession, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I find them very interesting. I think like they were something that was once so like ubiquitous and so like necessary in society, and now they're just like a lot of these don't work. They've been stripped for parts.
Yeah.
Like they're missing the receiver. They're missing buttons.
Yeah, sure.
People still use payphones, but a lot of people don't. Almost everybody has a cell phone in their pocket, or like they can, I don't know, go in and borrow a store phone or something.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like left to rot on the streets a little bit, and I think something in me like for some reason like I want to like archive them and like keep them. I'm very interested in the typography, so I try to shoot them all like exact same angle, exact same like focal length, exact same aperture, whatever. And yeah, I have a big collection.
It's quite the collection for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting that like they're still standing, and even though the city is getting rid of them, like I don't know, they're still here.
No, I agree, because payphones are such like an iconic thing, and when I think about payphones, I immediately go to like movies and stuff, because that's such like a part of the movie where it's like, oh, where am I gonna kill you? Or I'm gonna kill you, and then you're like, what? But like, I absolutely love the fact that you're going with the typography and like just matching your frame every single time, and it gives this nice composition, especially when you have it laid out in the sample sheet where it's like a multiple of them and you see all of them, and like it's like so perfect where you see the Bell logo and like the orange and the blues come out, and the white telling you how to work the payphone and everything, and it looks so nice, like all next to each other, and like gives that nice little difference in like what area they're from, and like what they like kind of represent of that area and stuff like that.
No, I definitely like. I think they're interesting looking, all in their own way. They're all kind of shaped a little differently. They're all built a little differently. There's different graffiti on them, or like I see the same tags repeated like all across the city. I think it's the graffiti that really makes them the most interesting, or like objects that people leave on them. Like you just kind of tune them out and you don't notice they're there. But I notice now. I'm like, if I'm on transit or like I don't have my camera on me and I see one, like I write down where I saw it. It's genuinely like a compulsion. But
I mean, like, once you're 120 plus photos in, I mean, what's one more?
Yeah. I've scoured the city, just like hundreds of kilometers probably of walking. I don't know, I'm guessing.
Yeah, something around those numbers.
Something like that.
Yeah, but again, I love, what you're doing with the payphones. I'm really excited to see what big project you have planned for the payphones. We'll see.
I'm excited to see too. Who knows?
Who knows what's gonna happen? But
something
with payphones. That's
something with payphones.
All we know. But yeah, I would love to move on to your next piece, Scary Thing, and I love the title. Yeah, what do you want to say about this amazing piece?
Yeah, it's kind of like an informal title. Like I don't know. It's kind of scary looking, but
It is
I
a
think
scary thing. I'll say that.
I think this piece is like a bit of experimentation for me. Like I think my photography style is very like, I just have like a very documentarian style, and I don't want to say it's flat, but like I don't do a lot of editing. I don't do like any flashy lighting. Like I shoot things outside in natural light quite often, and it's just kind of like there. I don't use artificial light a lot. I don't really experiment in Photoshop. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not good at Photoshop. I'm not.
Whoa.
I know.
Photography majors are going crazy right now.
You got to give us a class in it. No, I'm not great at Photoshop, so I don't know. But this was...
It's hard. It's a hard app. I'll say that. It's too much.
It's too much for me. But this was like a structure at Ontario Place that I became kind of obsessed with just because of the shape. It's just like a really weird piece of architecture. And I was outside playing around once with a speed light. I thought like, you know, I need to, I don't know, start using artificial light a bit more. And I thought like, oh, it would be fun to photograph this structure with like a speed light with like a really bright flash at night. I've photographed it in a bunch of different lighting conditions and stuff, but I was like, okay, you can only take a picture of it so many times the same way. But I took out a speed light. Thank you, OCAD Photo Cage. And I shot it. It's like bright white, so it's super reflective. And I got this like really spooky looking picture, hence the informal title of Scary Thing. And it let me play around in Photoshop a little bit more to like just balancing it out. I don't know. It was just kind of like, it doesn't seem that experimental, but for me, like this is a step away from my typical photography, which is very like, oh, natural light. I love golden hour. I love whatever. And this is very like cold and in your face. And it like somebody told me it looks computer generated. So yeah, I don't know. I was really obsessed with this structure, which secret revealed is actually like the stairs up to the water slides at Ontario Place. Whoa.
It's all crumbling down. And
the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, secrets are out there. Cards on the table.
But yeah, I don't know. I like this when I made it, but then I don't know. A lot of people have enjoyed looking at it, which was a surprise. So
yeah, no, I will say there's something just hypnotizing about the shape of the structure, and like on top of that, the flash and just how it captured like almost just like every single aspect of it, like down to like kind of the wiring of like the top and stuff, where it almost looks like kind of webbing and stuff. It's really intriguing because it's like, I don't know. This structure just looks really unnatural without that slide, right?
So it's like, it's super bizarre. It's a super bizarre thing. But
like again, with the light capturing so much of the structure, and then that black background of the night, it just, it just towers over you, and it is intimidating. I'll say that. Like it's scary. It's a scary thing. But I absolutely love like the framing of this, and you have like the like kind of wheatgrass like coming out from the ground, and like that's like the only other thing that you know of this scene.
No, I just thought it was fun, and I guess it also like, again, like with me and the payphones, it's like a need to archive things in some way. I mean, that structure, it's gonna be gone at some point. It'll be gone. The water slides are gone, but I don't know. I just became like obsessed with it.
And I would like to move on to my next question. Is there any messages that you would like to try and tackle in any future pieces?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, and after like 5 years of being in Toronto, I do like it here, but I start to think of like my hometown a lot. I'm from a smaller city, and I think one of the messages I'd like to get into is just like, I don't know, like the culture, if you can say that there is culture of like smaller Ontario towns and like smaller cities. I think I grew up in Woodstock. It's only a couple hours away from here, and it's not like super rural or super tiny or anything, but there wasn't a lot to do there. And I was like, I always want to get to Toronto, the big city, blah, blah, blah. But now when I go home, I start to see a lot more things that inspired me that like didn't before. I realized like, again, as with like all of my other art, like maybe I see beauty in things where other people might not. But I think like, I think I want to like inspire other people to like start looking outside the box, and like, kind of it's good to like go back to your roots and I guess I don't really know what message I'm getting at, but you know, like I want to inspire people to like go back to your roots. If you can stand to go back to your hometown for a bit, go back to your hometown. Look for like things that inspire your art, inspire you, and like things that maybe growing up you hated, but now it's like
try it again and see if you change your mind or something.
Yeah. I think a message to like focus on for me for the future. I spent a lot of time in my hometown this summer. I really focus on like rural Ontario and like other places that don't get a lot of like focus, but they can be it's like very inspiring to like go back home and I don't know, look at a cornfield. Like it's kind of.
No, yeah, I think you're right because, there is that thing where it's just like you have these memories and stuff from your childhood when you come back home and stuff. So like, of course, yeah, it's really nice that, hearing that you want to go back to the roots, kind of try new things, but like new old things, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And like, yeah, Toronto is such like an arts and culture hub and there's like so much here. There's a reason that I came here. Sometimes you don't want to go back to where you came from, but I think sometimes it's worth it to like, again, maybe to do with my nostalgia for things, but I think it's worth it for all of us to like turn and take a look at like where you come from. Yeah. I know like many artists already do that, but if you came from like a small town in Ontario or something and you're like, I'm going to Toronto, like, I don't know, go back and look at a tractor or something and maybe you'll see something.
Start working the field on the farm and then let's start talking.
Get some dirt on your hands, get some dirt under your nails, mud on your hands. I guess I don't know what message I was getting at, but I think like that's just what I've been exploring more and like hope to focus on more in the future.
Yeah, no.
Just like get outside of Toronto for some inspiration.
Now, sadly, we will have to move on to the final question of the interview. Sadly. Brynn, how has OCAD helped you with your own art making skills?
Yeah, I honestly, like, I can't say enough about the photo cage at school and the access that I've had to things that I wouldn't have had if I didn't come to OCAD. Like, it's allowed me to experiment a lot more and, like, try a lot of new things. There's so much equipment that I would never have been able to, like, freely borrow if I hadn't come here. Like, we have the dark rooms. We have, like, one of the last, like, accessible like color processors in Canada or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
Don't fact check that.
And that doesn't mean to come to OCAD just for the printer.
No, it's for us. It's for me.
It's for us only.
But yeah, like printing and stuff, like the super low cost for me to like print photos. I can print large scale. I can go in the dark rooms and like I don't have to set up a at-home dark room. Like I can borrow digital equipment that I can't afford. I can borrow analog equipment that I can't afford. Like and I think it's really helped me like grow my skills and like experiment a lot more. Obviously, my classes and profs are great, but I think a lot of us photography students, like we live at like the photo center, at the photo cage. People are in the dark rooms day in, day out. I think OCAD has really helped in that regard. Like they just give us access to a lot. I can't complain.
I mean, yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Like, that's one thing I'll say that I probably don't take advantage of the cage as much as for integrated media more specifically. But, but like it's there and there's all these different tools to legit complete whatever task you need, right?
Yeah.
And like I've seen a little bit of I've taken a little bit of photography. Not that much, but like the dark rooms, it's such a great aspect, of OCAD. They like for photography at least, they have so much of a hands-on experience for legit anything.
Exactly. I think like I didn't take enough advantage of it. Well, also I was there during COVID and like we couldn't.
Yeah, that is also a good point.
Now I'm like, it's my final year. Like I'm gonna print so much. I'm blowing all my money on printing. I'm just sitting in the dark room for hours. So if you're like first or second year or whatever, and you're watching this, like go take whatever your major is. Like take advantage of the stuff that they have.
Yeah.
Try it out. Even if you end up like you're like, oh, I could just buy this myself. Like you can try stuff for free. I think like that is the main thing that OCAD helps like a lot of people with. Go use the studios. Go use the equipment. Like, I know, like, just hang out at the school. Just live at the school. I don't know.
Chill at school. Just buy an apartment near school and buy it.
That's the thing too. If you live near the school and you can do that,
that is true.
I've always lived near enough. But I don't know. While you're at the school, take advantage.
Yes, 100%.
Borrow stuff. Use the studios.
It's for students, so please use it if you do have that chance and play around and experiment. like Brynn, and maybe you can sell 1 million prints of an amazing picture.
If I sell 1 million, you'll never see me again.
Brynn would not be doing this interview. But thank you so much, Brynn, for coming on the show. Before we end off this episode, is there anything you'd like to plug, promote, or put out there for the world to know?
I don't know. I don't have a lot to promote. Don't really do any shows or anything. Follow me on Instagram. It's BRYN and then like 14 more N's. You'll find me. I swear to God, just go BRY, keep typing in N.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
It'll be on screen so you can count out the amount of N's on there.
Love to make myself inaccessible. My website is Brynn, but with 5Ns.com. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you see me around school, say hi. That's what I'll plug. If you see me, say hi. I'm not mean, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, again, thank you so much, Brynn, for the quick interview.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. And I can't wait to see your future projects within photography. I'm
Thanks.
excited, yeah.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited, very excited. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Artistic Visions. I cannot wait to see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy, and hope you guys have a great weekend, week, your days, whatever you're going and doing. Enjoy it, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.